Welcome to True Forex Funds. We are one of the best proprietary trading firm who funds their talented traders up to $400,000 after completing our two-phase evaluation process. And now, we are going to interview one of our trusted funded trader. Well, Robbie, thank you for being here. You're a great funded trader of us. You've been trading on the funded account so far in the past weeks. You've also received the profit split. Can you tell more about your experience with True Forex Funds?
Yeah, my experience with the True Forex Funds first, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a bit skeptic, but at the same time, when I had the first payout, I kind of like told myself that, okay, I'm gonna be like pushing the limit, and trade without reservations, and they would actually, that I would actually be rewarded with the profit split and whatnot. And yeah, it really happened, and I'm so proud. And now I'm thinking of, moving forward with True Forex Funds, really.
Can you share your profit split with us?
By the amount, what do you?
Yeah, the
What do you?
experience, the amount, what kind of struggles did you had on the funded account, or was it an easy peasy go?
Well, actually, what happened was, uh, I purchased a $100,000 account, and that was like the first and only purchase I made. And then I'm on my third funded account right now. So it's really a very wonderful experience for me. So the first cycle, first 14-day cycle of the funded account was, I really stopped trading already on the fifth day, maybe, I think, or fifth day or sixth day. Then I kind of waited it out till the profit split day, But what's funny is I bought the account on Monday, then through Forex Funds with having no minimum trading days, right? So I managed to pass the phase one on Monday, got my account like the night after, and then traded the next day, which is Tuesday, for the phase two. And I managed to pass the phase two on Wednesday. So I sent all my KYC documentation on Wednesday night. I got my funded account on Thursday. And then on Friday, I'm up 7,000 something dollars on my funded. So basically, it's just it happened on like 5 days trading. And my friends, actually, I showed it to my friends, like, hey, this new prop firm, they have no minimum days. I managed to have $7,000 in a matter of 1 week trading, like from phase one to funded. So if they pay me with this is gonna be crazy. So I told them, and then it happened. So right now they're coming in, and they're jumping in. So yeah, and my second cycle of the funded account was actually um kind of mix. It's like a mixed bag, because the first week I got up to 29,000 or 29%, which I managed to hit the number one leaderboard in the 100,000 section. And then on the next week, I would just call it market variance, because I did what I have to do, and I brought the account from 29 to 15, 16, something like that, and then just waited for the withdrawal. So let's see what this third account have in store for me.
So I can see that our no minimum trading days policy helped you a lot. And actually, we are for the traders with this, so they can fast track their success with prop firm trading.
That's true. That's true, because we cannot deny that most of people in the trading realm right now, they're in here because of the get rich quick kind of system, or people with get rich quick mentality. So no minimum trading days would really attract or lure so many traders out there. But again, it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes people want to just gamble, and which is the direct opposite of trading. Like, you need to wait it out, take your time. But for experienced traders, I think it would really be helpful for them.
Robbie, can you tell us about your experience? How did you become a Forex trader? How did you move from gambling to trading and taking this as a professional vocation?
Yeah, sure, sure. I would be happy. I started trading when back then in 2016, maybe late 2016. I was in United States that time. Um, I was working in United States that time, and then I had a friend. He showed me his phone. He said, look at this, blah blah blah. They're making money online. I was really skeptic. I'm like, bro, I don't even understand. It's like hieroglyphics for me, like numbers everywhere. I don't understand. So I dabbled kind of bit. 2017 early. Then I managed to make like few $100 that time. I load $100 in live and then blow it up and then make it happen. And then I eventually quit like 2017 late. I'm like, no, this is not going nowhere. But when I came home in my country here in the Philippines, I started really to say that because for the lack of opportunity in the Philippines, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to that forex trading, and I really put in some time and effort, and the sleepless nights to really study the market. And then for 2020, I'm like, okay, I already know how to trade, but I'm really undercapitalized, something like that. So I tend to over risk, to over trade, not because I'm impatient, but because my capital is really that not that high. So for me, the prop firm will really change a lot and help traders like me who are just undercapitalized, but the skill is really there. So yeah, I was funded on different prop firms before, and right now I shifted to Forex Funds, and I'm having a good time.
Good to hear it. What would your advice be for anyone who's trying trading at the first time? Do you have a step-by-step mentorship or strategy you go through for each of your trades? And would you recommend anyone else to start learning a strategy or start experiencing trading or maybe take a course?
Um, well, my advice for the newcomers in the trading space would always be um to put in the work. I mean, it's not a get overnight success, and when I say put in the work, maybe it's 20% theory on how to execute the system and whatnot, right? But when I say put in the work, it's the 80% that what happens after. When you blow an account, you need to journal what went wrong. You need to have the data of your system. If your system does have really an edge, what is the win rate? And win rate does not necessarily have to be more than 50%. If your win rate is 45% and your average risk to reward ratio is like 1.8 to 2, you will, over the law of large numbers, you would come up profitable. I know a man before 1980s, his name is Richard Dennis. He only have 5% win rate, but his uh winnings are monsters, and his uh net worth when he retired was $400 million. So really, the win rate is not really an issue. It's a matter of what works or what works for you. So yeah, I would advise them to put in the work. Like after you upload an account, you should have something to learn from that. Like you should have a journal what went wrong. It might be your emotions or whatever it is, because different folks, different strokes. So you really need to journal that and do not waste the opportunity of the lesson behind that blown account, something like that. So my advice for them is if you're failing in your first few years, it's okay because in the forex journey, here is the only industry that you could fail forward. The more you fail, the more you learn from the failures, the faster it is that you're going to be profitable.
Do you have a strategy on hand that you follow every day for your trade setups? Can you share some of your insights with us?
Yeah, sure. For trade setups, I only trade one pair. I'm a one pair guy. I'm a one chart guy. If you have seen my account, it's only a US 30. It's the Dow Jones. The reason being is because when it moves, it moves. And once you go US 30, you never really go back. So I'm not really like a forex trader right now. I'm more of a stock trader already. Um, and the US 30 is it's because I'm a day trader. I am not a swing. I'm not a scalper. So I would tell them that they really need to know too that what kind of trader are they. So are they impatient one? Don't force to be a swing trader if you're an impatient guy. So if right, so don't focus on your weakness, just focus on the strength. If you're impatient, then go with scalping. If you don't want to wait 3 days, 4 days for a setup, just to wait another 2 days to know that you're wrong, do not force swing trading, something like that. So me, I have my pre-trading routine every time. Um, it's a trading day. So I'd like to share my morning routine all the way to the New York session. Would that be okay?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So when I every day when I wake up, I have like first few hours of my transcendental meditation. It's very a huge part of my mental clarity throughout the day. It kind of like sets the mood. So I meditate, then I read books. I make sure like one chapter even before I lay my eyes on like social media or whatnot. I make sure that it's the trading book, either psychology or the classics like trading Mark Douglas, trading in the zone, whatnot. So I meditated, I read books, and then I would assess the goal for the day. Like, okay, what if I get like 10,000, $15,000 right now? I would stop. So I have my goal post in place, and I will not move it. Depends on the market sentiments later on the day, right? Because those are emotional. So I'm trying to be logical ahead of time. So once I have all those goals in place, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna be dabbling a bit, like 1 hour on what happened on the close of New York. So I have a top-down analysis. So when I say top-down analysis, I analyze based on weekly first, down to daily time frames, and then H4 time frames, H1, M30, M15, and M5. You know, so I use H4 and H1 for my daily bias for the main trend, I would say. Then for the M30 and M15 would be for my market structures. Then M5 or M1 for my execution. The reason being I'm in M1 and M5 time frame, it's because I am maximizing the possible returns and minimizing the exposure of the trade, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So before the trade like builds up on the H1 or M30, I'm already in because I have M5 and M1 entry criteria, something like that. So that's basically how I approach the trade, and I'm waiting for the 9:30 opening bell or the core trading of NYSE. Every night it's 9:30 here in my country, in my time zone. So after that, the pair would which is US 30, it would really move like sometimes 400, 500, 600 points on a good day. On a great day, she will give you like 800, 900 points. And that's more than enough if you're risking like 100 points of stop loss. I always risk 100, 150 points first for my stop loss. And if the average daily range would give you like 600, that's a 1:4 RR, which is really good. So I have one trading setup for the session. So like point A, point B, then I'm gonna be trading from point B to point C. So this point B to point C is my trade setup. One trade setup, but multiple positions, if that makes sense. So I only have one bias where the market would go, and it's not a predicted bias, it's a reacted bias. I would just react where the market wants to go, tonight. Then I would have multiple orders from point A to point B. But I only have one trade setup with multiple orders, if that makes sense. That's basically how I trade. And I don't force trades if there's really no trade at all.
I assume your execution or entry points are most likely to be in the profits and have a little retracements only, the way you told us.
Yeah. I use Bollinger Bands, if that makes sense, and moving averages. For my entries, more on candlestick analysis. Like every candle tells a story. So if the candle is telling you that he cannot go further because there's too much exhaustion, like the wicks and whatnot, then you kind of look for validation on lower time frame if that's really what the candle meant or the price meant, right? So if you have like engulfing, bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing to confirm that move, then I'm gonna just move with the flow with the market, so to speak.
All right. Can you show us some trades on the MetaTrader that you took while trading with True Forex Funds?
Yeah. I could share my chart. Okay.
So this is Dow Jones.
Yeah, this is US30. This is the Dow. So the way I approach it, just like I approach it on a structure level. For me, structure is really king. So I would give you like one trade that I had yesterday on my live account. So this area right here, the black area, okay. My black area would be the New York session. The green one, the highlighted green one is the London, and the blue one is the Asian. Can you see the color distinction?
Yeah, exactly.
Is
From
it clear?
left to right, there's the Asian, European, and New York session.
Yeah. Okay. So here the Asian is going on a bearish flow. It's having a bearish flow, and I'm just getting like the resistances of this one. So these are my resistances. Okay. So when New York session opened, it broke that resistance. So meaning the New York session for me, there's a structure that was broken. So I was just waiting for a retracement of the New York session. Then I'm just gonna flow with the bullish move of this one. Because for me, an impulse would always be followed by a second impulse. That's my logic. So this is the first impulse. Okay. Then I'm gonna wait for a retracement of this one or pullback of some sort. Then that pullback would really find a support level. Does not necessarily have to be a retest, just like what the textbook says. So this is the support level that the retrace really found this support level right here. So it was tested multiple times. If we're gonna look at it, first test, second test, and third test. If I can like zoom in there. So it was tested 3 times. So the price don't want to move further below that area.
And
Okay.
here you also look for confirmation like the engulfing bar.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the engulfing bar happened to be here. This bar right here. Okay. But for me, that is like the first sign, but not a signal to buy. It is a sign that, okay, it has found a support, tested 3 times, and with exhaustions, I'm like, I'm gonna be waiting for another time that the price would hit this support. And if it's gonna show a resistance or a rejection from this area, and then I'm gonna look for bullish engulfing, and I'm just gonna flow for the second impulse of the trade setup. So remember, this is my trade setup, the first impulse, then the second one would be like after the support, right? So after the touch here, again, there is a wick, if you can see, this wick right here. So that is a rejection again, or an exhaustion. For me, that's what I call a bullish, a bearish, a bearish exhaustion. So the bears are kind of like exhausting a bit, then followed by a bullish close. Then these 3 candles right here, okay, if I'm gonna like consolidate that 3 candles there, that is a big bullish candle that have engulfed the previous bear candle. So I'm gonna like combining these candles and know the story really what the price action is telling me. So this is my bullish engulfing these 3 candles and engulfed this bearish pressure right here. Okay, so I would have bought here, then my stop loss would just be like here, or 100 points or 120 points, something like that. Then I'm gonna move on a higher time frame to see. And then just drag it all the way top on the top. Sometimes I do like trailing stop, where I would just guide the candle until it exhausted, till I see a bullish exhaustion. So either two things can happen. Either the New York stocks the New York Stock Exchange would close and I have to get out of my trade, or a first support would be broken, going on a bullish move, right? So in this case, there is no support that was broken. So these are the supports or the higher lows that it is creating, the mini higher lows, right? So there's no higher lows that was kind of like taken out. So I would need to close my trade before the New York stocks closes, which is 4:30 or 5 a.m. in my time. Because I'm a day trader, I don't hold trades overnight really. So I'm just after for that one move of the day, and then I just jack up my lot size or whatnot, depends on the account, to actually make the profit that my goal for that day. That's basically how simple it is that I trade. But the challenge is, not to take unnecessary trades, take emotional trades, or react not the way you want to react when you're not in the trade, because whenever you don't have a trade or an open position, everything is logical. But once you enter a position, a buy or a sell, now it's emotional. Now you're emotional. So set the rules before you enter the trade, when you will exit, and what candle you need to see or be printed before you exit, and when to say it's enough, when is my stop loss, where is my stop loss I'm gonna place, and I'm never gonna move my stop loss. And after you've written those rules, then enter the trade. Then if you feel this urge or impulses, just have to read your rules again, then just commit to it and stick to it. And the most disciplined guy really wins at the end. So that's basically how it is.
Do you usually put your stop loss 150 points away from your entry point? Or if it's less than 150, for example, the previous low is less than 100 points, you put it below the previous low?
It's a case-to-case basis. If the average daily range of the New York session would be like 500, 600 points, then I would be comfortable to put 120 really, like fix, even if it's really further from the previous higher low. But if it's not a good market condition, like the NY will just give me like 300, 400 points sometimes, then I'm gonna do what you're trying to say, like put it on the closest one. Like I'm gonna get 70, 80 points, just try to crunch all the numbers and squeeze all the move that I could get. But if the move is great, or the market condition is really good, then I would have no pressure to put 100 points, because 100 points against your direction on a New York on the Dow would really mean that you're wrong already for the move. So there's no point really to pull it even further. That's how my back test really shows.
All
That's
right.
what my back test showed.
When do you decide to pull it into break even?
Okay, break even. Sometimes I don't really believe in the break even, because this is just me. I in my data, I have more break even that I have more trades that I break even that just hit the break even and flew in my direction, you know what I mean? So I never really believe in the break even kind of thing because I want to let the trade breathe. I want to give a chance for my bias to prove me that I'm wrong. And the thing is, I have risked that kind of money already and accepted that I could lose that money regardless of what's gonna happen. But I believe in taking partials though, but not like the break even, because the break even you kind of like compromise the whole trade if it's too close. But if you're already in 2R, maybe I think you could break even. But no break even until you get a minimum of 2R in the trade.
All right. We
That's
can
how
learn
I
a lot of things about technicals just as you showed us, but there's certainly another side of trading. You talked about emotions and how to handle them. Do you have good tips and thoughts about how to be in tune with your trades emotionally?
yeah. With this ever changing uh day and age, we have these social media platforms here and there, you know. What I um assessed from myself based on my journal was whenever I'm into my social medias like Instagram, Facebook, you know, TikTok or YouTube, I'm failing myself. Like my focus is going tiny and tiny and tiny as the more content I consume. So I would always say what I did to myself was I quit my social media all at once, like the Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and it helped me really a lot to be more focused and um to compound my focus for the day. So my tip would be like be watchful of the information that you feed into your brain, especially when you are on your hands waiting for your setup. Because sometimes, uh, if you're unaware that you're watching these videos or whatnot, it kind of have a negative impact on your brain, and then it kind of triggers fear, you know, doubt sometimes in your trades. Like, for example, if you see a trader that is bagging like six figures, or you know the Instagram traders, you're gonna be jealous of that or be envious of that, unaware of in your subconscious level. Then when you have a trade and it immediately goes into profit, you want to lock in that profit because you want to have that kind of same feeling, the one that you saw like 2 hours ago. So now you're being emotional rather than being focusing on your system just because of these unnecessary information you're getting because of what you do on your free time, you know? So it's the little things for me. It's the attention to details on what you do on your free time. It really has a huge effect on your trading performance. But at the end of the week, like Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, I release my, you know, those disciplines and whatnot. I go back to what I do. So I activate my social media and go out with my friends, you know. But Monday to Friday, no, airplane mode. That's it. Bam, airplane mode. No one can really talk to me, something like that.
And it's also important to have a balance, right? To have some hobbies at the end of the week and then also have the time to focus on your trades when you have to work.
Yeah, it's trading is a 1 month sport, Joseph. You know, for me, over the years, I've realized that trading is really a 1 month sport. It's you versus you. The market is not risky. It's always the trader who's the risk. What's the mental model of the trader for this week? You know, did he had like personal problems? If a lot of things are going on a personal level, then a lot of things would go on your trading performance. That's the way I view things. So if you're a guy like really busy outside of trade, then you're gonna be really busy in your trading performance. But if you're focused outside, then you're focused on your trading performance. Because You cannot be something you're not when you're trading, if that makes sense. So
Exactly.
if you're really an impatient guy outside of trading, and your guru or your mentor said that you need to be patient, and when your session hits, you're trying to be patient, then you could maybe do it, what, 2 days, 3 days, but on a consistent measure, you cannot really pull it off. You need to be really a patient guy in and outside of the screen, so you could pull consistency. Because I would always say that the consistency that people are looking in the market is not really in the market. The consistency that they're looking is in their mindset. So if the mindset would be consistent, then the results would be consistent regardless of the market condition, especially for us like day traders. It could be recession tomorrow, it could be a good interest rate tomorrow, bullish, all-time high tomorrow. We could care less, because what we need is the impulse of the New York session. So regardless, bullish, bearish, we would make money. What's most important is the mindset that we have when we're looking on those high volume trades. So the consistency really is in the mindset of the trader, not in the market, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Robbie, for sharing all of this. I would want to know what your goals for the future are.
Yeah, my goals for the future would be, of course, enjoying my trading profits as a trader. But at the end of the day, I could see that here in my country, there is so much influx of traders that want to be in the trading, like a new labor force that wanted to be in the trading space. So I think I want to talk with certain people that, instead of me putting up likewise, or a Me Too business, just want to like strike a deal with people who's already in place, because I have a following of traders actually that I could plug it
Yeah,
in this
building a
space.
community of traders is always beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, it's always beneficial for everyone, but I would not really recommend that if you're like in your grinding space of your life, like in your grinding years. Community of traders would just kind of like pull you from all kinds of directions. you know you would forced to be like a system junkie, like, okay, this system doesn't work, I'm gonna look for something else. Or, oh, this system does work today, but tomorrow it doesn't work, I'm gonna look for something else. So you don't really have the data of the system, what is the win rate, over the course of what sample size it works and it doesn't work. So yeah, the community kind of like, it's good if you have set the expectations, but for people who just following the herd, I think they're really being misguided with the community.
All right. What would you tell about True Forex Funds? Who's anyone want to join us?
Well, if you are a serious trader, the True Forex Funds would really be the company for you. Like, if you give 100% to True Forex Funds, they're gonna give you 200% back. I mean, that's my personal experience, and I can only speak on behalf of my personal experience. And they're very strict with their rules, which is really good, because it only shows that they're professional in the business side of things.
All right. I appreciate your words. Do you have any last final thoughts you want to share with us or anyone who's watching us?
Well, the only time you would fail in trading is when you quit. But don't quit, just have a break. Once you get in the years that you will be profitable, you would always say that it's worth it. And for me, trading has always been the hardest way to make easy money. So it's hard, but it's worth it.
Okay. Well, best of luck, Robbie, for your new funded account, and hope we're going to see you for a long time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Joseph. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching us. Make sure to stick around because more is going to come soon. Please like us and subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to never miss out on new video updates. For more information, check out the description below.